Have you ever felt tired of trying to please everyone? Have you ever asked yourself, when will I finally feel free? Do you sometimes feel like you're just surviving, not truly living? If any of that feels familiar, this video was made for you. Because maybe it's time to let go, and just maybe it's time to let go and live. Hello dear friends, and welcome back to Son.Mindfulness. If you're new here, we're truly honored to have you join us. This channel is a peaceful space for healing, wisdom, and rediscovery. It's where we come home to ourselves. Today, more and more people feel disconnected from others, from peace, from themselves. We carry invisible weight, guilt, stress, regret, loneliness, and we don't know how to set it down. We stay busy, but inside, we feel lost. That's why today's topic matters more than ever, because you deserve more than just getting through the day. You deserve to feel light again, to feel seen, to feel whole. You deserve to let go and live. In this video, you'll discover 7 powerful lessons drawn from Buddhist wisdom. Not religious theory, not complicated practice, just simple, real-life truths. Things you can start living today, and through them you'll begin your own spiritual awakening. We'll walk slowly, gently together. You'll find clarity, stillness, and maybe the part of yourself you thought was lost. So please, if this message speaks to you, subscribe to Son.Mindfulness. Join a growing community of mindful souls like you. Like the video if it touches your heart, and share it with someone who might need it today. Leave a comment below. Tell us, what are you ready to let go of? May you be strong in health, soft in heart, peaceful in mind, and lucky in every moment of life. Now let's begin the journey and explore what happens when we finally let go and live. Part 2. 7 Timeless Buddhist Lessons. Lesson 1. Let go of the rope that's burning your hand. Have you ever held on to something so tightly it hurt? Not your body, but your soul? Maybe it's a past mistake, a broken relationship, or a fear of letting someone down. You tell yourself you've moved on, but deep inside, you're still gripping the rope, and that rope is burning your hand. Let me ask you, what are you holding on to that's already holding you back? In Buddhism, we call this suffering attachment. It means clinging to something that was never meant to stay. It could be memories, expectations, people, or even guilt. The Buddha once said, "Pain is inevitable. Suffering is optional." The suffering comes from our grip, not the rope itself. Let me tell you a story. General Douglas MacArthur, one of America's greatest military minds, once faced bitter public rejection. After serving his country for decades, he was removed by President Truman. It shocked him. He could have clung to anger, pride, or bitterness. But in his final speech to Congress, he simply said, "Old soldiers never die, they just fade away." He let go with dignity, not weakness, wisdom. He showed us that honor is in release, not resistance. Now think about this. What if your suffering isn't about what happened, but about your refusal to let go? That friend who betrayed you, that decision you regret, that moment you replay in your mind every night. You don't have to carry it anymore. You are not a prisoner to your past. You are not defined by what hurt you. Picture this. You're standing still, your hand clenched tightly around a thick rope. It's slicing your skin. It burns, but you keep holding on. Now ask yourself, why not open your hand? Why not just let go? What would happen if today you gave yourself permission to release it? Letting go doesn't mean forgetting. It doesn't mean giving up. It means choosing peace over pain. It means you're ready to heal. This is where spiritual awakening begins, not by fixing the world, but by loosening your grip on it. When you let go and live, you make space for joy to return, for peace to enter, for lightness to lift your soul again. So tell me, what rope are you still holding? What if today was the day you dropped it? Inhale deeply, now exhale. You just practiced the first step, ready for what comes next. In the next lesson, we'll explore something even more subtle. Lesson 2, stop seeking approval and find yourself instead. It's time to stop performing and start living. Let's continue this journey inward. Lesson 2. Stop seeking approval and find yourself instead. When was the last time you did something just to be liked? Did you say yes when your heart whispered no? Have you ever smiled, stayed silent, or agreed just to avoid conflict? If so, you're not alone. We've all shaped ourselves to fit in at some point. But who are we really without the applause? From childhood, we were trained to seek approval. We were praised for being good, quiet, obedient. We were corrected when we didn't meet expectations. Over time, we learned approval equals safety, and we started chasing it at any cost. But here's the truth. You cannot let go and live if you're still waiting for permission to be yourself. Let me tell you about Princess Diana. Adored by millions, yet she often felt deeply unseen. Despite her fame, she once said, "People think that, at the end of the day, a man is the only answer. Actually, a fulfilling job is better for me." She longed not to be liked, but to be known. She learned the hard way that public approval doesn't equal inner peace. It wasn't until she followed her own truth that she began to heal. That's when spiritual awakening begins, when you choose yourself. Now pause and reflect. Are you constantly performing for others? Do you ever wonder, if I stopped pleasing them, would they still love me? What if the answer is yes? But more importantly, what if it's no? Would you be okay? Because here's the secret. Not everyone will like you. Not everyone needs to. And that's okay. A tree doesn't bend to please the wind. The moon doesn't shine only when watched. They exist fully, silently, beautifully, and so can you. Let go of the need to be understood by everyone. It's a burden that keeps your soul exhausted. You don't need to earn your worth. You were born with it. Ask yourself today, do I like who I am when nobody's watching? If the answer is unclear, that's okay. This is where self-discovery begins. Start small. Say no when you mean no. Speak up, even if your voice trembles. Wear what makes you feel alive. Follow your curiosity, not someone else's rules. That's how you begin to remember yourself. That's how you start to let go and live. So tell me, what would your life look like if you stopped trying to impress others? What would you do differently today if no one had an opinion? You don't need validation. You need alignment with your heart, your values, your truth. The moment you choose that, your spiritual awakening deepens. You'll stop chasing approval and start attracting peace. And peace is what we'll need most as we face the greatest challenge of all. Up next is Lesson 3, Embrace Impermanence. Everything changes, because letting go of control starts with accepting that nothing stays the same. Let's keep going. Lesson 3, Embrace Impermanence. Everything changes. Have you ever wished a beautiful moment could last forever? Or that someone you love would never leave? We all have. We want the good things to stay. We want the pain to pass. But life doesn't ask for our permission. It simply changes. Buddhism calls this truth anicca, impermanence. It means nothing lasts. Not joy, not sorrow, not even you. It sounds scary, doesn't it? But what if it's not? What if change is the doorway to peace? Let's take a moment to remember Emperor Ashoka of ancient India. He was a fierce warrior king who conquered ruthlessly. But one day, after witnessing the bloodshed he caused, everything shifted. He let go of violence, he embraced Buddhism, and he led with compassion until the end of his life. Change didn't destroy him, it saved him. Now think about your life. Is there something you're still trying to keep exactly the same? Your body, your relationship, your identity? Are you clinging to how things used to be? When you resist change, you suffer. It's like trying to hold water in your hands. No matter how tightly you squeeze, it slips through. The tighter you grip, the more it hurts, the more frustrated you become. But here's a gentle truth. Let go and live. Stop gripping. Start flowing. Take a look outside. The seasons don't apologize for changing. Spring doesn't beg winter to stay. Autumn doesn't resist the fall of leaves. They transform gently and fully. Can you allow yourself to do the same? Spiritual awakening begins when we stop demanding permanence from a world that was never meant to stand still. When we accept that life will change, we start to see its beauty again. We appreciate the people around us more, because we know they won't be here forever. We savor small joys, because we understand their passing nature. We breathe deeper, because this moment will never come again. So ask yourself, what are you resisting right now? What are you trying to freeze in place? Could it be time to let that go? Not in fear, but in faith. Faith that something new may grow. When a flower wilts, it makes room for a seed. When the sun sets, it gives way to stars. Nothing is lost, everything transforms, and so can you. Let go. Stop asking life to pause, it won't, but it will carry you forward if you let it. So tell me, what's one change you've been afraid to face? Could this be the beginning of something better? Because next, we'll explore how to stay grounded when the world gets loud. Up next is Lesson 4, Mindful Detachment. Create stillness amid the noise. It's time to hear your own voice again. Lesson 4, Mindful Detachment. Create stillness amid the noise. Do you ever feel overwhelmed by everything coming at you? The news, the notifications, the opinions, the noise? It's like the world won't stop talking, but your soul just wants to breathe. Buddhism teaches us about mindful detachment. It means being present but not pulled in, aware but not absorbed, connected but still centered. Think of your mind like a lake. When disturbed, the water turns muddy, but in stillness, it reflects truth. So ask yourself, when was the last time your mind felt truly still? Let me tell you about Thich Nhat Hanh, the beloved Vietnamese Zen master. He lived through war, exile, and injustice, yet he walked in silence. He taught that peace isn't found in escape, it's found in presence. He once said, "You don't need to run away to be free, you need to stop running inside." That's what spiritual awakening is, returning to the quiet that was always there. Now let's get honest. Are you addicted to the noise? Do you check your phone the moment you wake up? Do you scroll past your own emotions? Do you jump from one distraction to the next? No judgment, just awareness. We've all been there, but we don't have to stay there. Let go of the need to react to everything. Not every post needs your attention. Not every conversation deserves your energy. Just because it's loud doesn't mean it matters. Start small. Turn off your phone for 10 minutes. Sit by a window. Watch the trees move. Let your breath guide you. This is not laziness. This is clarity. You're creating space for your mind to breathe. You're choosing to be the calm in the storm. Here's a practice. Before you speak, pause. Before you scroll, breathe. Before you reply, reflect. This pause is where your power lives. It's where your spiritual awakening matures. Let me ask you this. What are you letting into your mind each day? Are you filling yourself with noise or with peace? You deserve peace, but peace won't shout to get your attention. It whispers. Only the still can hear it. So, are you ready to hear yourself again? To hear the voice beneath all voices? Then begin now. Not tomorrow, not later. Now. Sit, breathe, notice. That's enough. Let go and live doesn't mean disconnecting from life. It means reconnecting to yourself. Because if you don't choose your focus, someone else will. Now that your mind is still, it's time to look deeper into its patterns. Up next is Lesson 5. You are not your thoughts. Observe, don't obey. Because freedom begins when you stop believing everything your mind says. Lesson 5. You are not your thoughts. Observe, don't obey. Have you ever believed something about yourself and later realized it wasn't true? Like, I'm not good enough, I always mess up, they don't love me. Thoughts like these, where do they come from? Are they yours, or were they planted by someone else? Buddhism offers a powerful truth. You are not your thoughts. Thoughts arise, but they are not facts. They are not you. You are the awareness watching the thought, not the thought itself. Imagine your mind as the sky. Thoughts are just clouds. Some are light, some are dark, but none of them stay. So why do we let them control our life? Let me tell you a story about Marcus Aurelius, the Roman emperor. He ruled with wisdom and calm in times of chaos. He journaled his thoughts daily, but he never trusted them blindly. He wrote, "You have power over your mind, not outside events. Realize this and you will find strength." He learned to observe his mind, not obey it. That's real power. Now ask yourself, which thoughts are you still believing that hold you back? I'm too old. It's too late. No one will understand. What if none of that is true? Let go of the thoughts that bring you pain, not by fighting them, but by seeing them clearly. Try this. The next time your mind says something cruel, pause, breathe. Ask, is this thought helping me or hurting me? Don't argue with it. Don't fix it. Just watch it and let it pass. Thoughts are like passing cars. You don't chase everyone down the street. You just let them drive by. Your job is not to stop your mind from speaking. Your job is to stop believing everything it says. This is the beginning of spiritual awakening. You become the calm witness, not the anxious reactor. And in that space between thought and response, you find your freedom. Let go and live means choosing which voices you follow. Let your soul speak louder than your fears. Let your truth override the noise. So tell me, what thought have you been mistaking for truth? What belief are you ready to release today? Because when you stop believing every thought, you start believing in yourself. Now that you've quieted your mind, let's take one step further. In Lesson 6, stop chasing happiness. Just be fully here. You'll learn the joy you've been chasing is already with you. Lesson 6, stop chasing happiness. Just be fully here. Have you ever told yourself, I'll be happy when I lose weight, when I have more money, when they understand me, when life finally feels perfect? We've all been there. But here's the trap. When never comes, happiness never does either. Buddhism teaches this clearly. Happiness is not a destination. It's not waiting for you at the end of a checklist. It's here, right now. But you have to stop running long enough to feel it. Think of the Buddha under the Bodhi tree. He didn't chase enlightenment. He sat still. He stopped chasing. And in stillness, he awakened. What if you did the same? Now be honest. Are you always looking for the next fix? Another goal? Another escape? Another moment that will finally make you feel whole? Let me ask, what if nothing is missing from your life right now, except your presence? Let go of the idea that you must earn your joy. You don't. Joy isn't a reward, it's a reminder. A reminder that being alive is already enough. Think about Maya Angelou, the poet. She said, "Be present in all things and thankful for all things." She knew that happiness is not an achievement, it's an awareness. You don't need to reach something new, you need to return to now. Try this right now. Feel your feet. Notice your breath. Hear the sounds around you. This is your life. Not tomorrow, not yesterday. Now. Let go and live means slowing down enough to see what's already beautiful. The sunlight on the table, the warmth of your coffee, the smile of a stranger. When you chase happiness, it runs. When you sit still, it returns. So tell me, what have you been chasing? What have you overlooked while racing toward a better moment? What would happen if you just stopped? Not gave up, but looked up. This is spiritual awakening in real time. You realize you don't need more. You need less striving, more being. You return to yourself, and in that return, joy rises again. Next, we go even deeper, because now that you've found peace in the present, it's time to explore how letting go of control can lead to compassion. Up next is Lesson 7, Compassion over Control. Let others be free. Lesson 7, Compassion over Control. Let others be free. Do you ever feel the urge to fix everything? To make people act right? To hold things together, even when they're falling apart? If so, you're not alone. The need to control is deeply human, but it's also deeply exhausting. Buddhism teaches that control is born from fear. Fear of being hurt again, fear of uncertainty, fear that if you don't hold on tight, everything will fall apart. But here's the truth. Holding on doesn't always keep things safe. Sometimes it keeps you stuck. Think of Nelson Mandela. He spent 27 years in prison. He had every reason to be bitter, controlling, angry, but he didn't seek revenge. He sought reconciliation. He let go of resentment and chose compassion instead. He understood what it means to be free, inside and out. So ask yourself, who are you still trying to change? What are you still trying to force into place? What if you stopped controlling and started trusting? Let go of the need to manage every outcome. Let go of the belief that your way is the only way. People grow at their own pace. Healing takes its own time. You don't have to carry everyone's story. Sometimes the most loving thing you can do is to let someone walk their own path, even if it's not the one you would have chosen for them. Think of the Buddha and his cousin Devadatta. Devadatta tried to harm him. He caused division, created chaos, and broke trust. But the Buddha didn't seek control. He didn't retaliate. He held steady, with compassion, not revenge, because true compassion doesn't demand, it releases. Spiritual awakening means seeing that control is not power. Letting go is. It's strength, not weakness. It's freedom for you and for them. So ask yourself, who do you need to release today? Not out of anger, but out of love? And don't forget yourself in that equation. Let go and live also means forgiving your own pace, your own path, your own imperfect process. Stop forcing your healing to hurry. Stop blaming yourself for not being there yet. You're exactly where you need to be. So now take a deep breath. You've walked through all 7 lessons, each one inviting you to release, to remember, to return to what's real. But these ideas don't just live in philosophy, they live in people, in stories. In the next section, we'll explore just that. Story compilation. Everyday people, extraordinary realizations, real lives, real letting go, real awakening. Get ready to meet them. Part 3. Story compilation. Everyday people, extraordinary realizations. The teachings are powerful, but it's in real lives that they come alive. Let's revisit some of the people we've met. Ordinary on the outside, but carrying extraordinary awakenings within. Maria, the retired teacher who let go of guilt. Maria taught for 30 years. One student dropped out and she blamed herself. Every night she replayed the moment she should have done more. But one day she realized she was gripping a burning rope. Not the student's failure, but her guilt. Through meditation, she began to release it. She didn't forget, she forgave herself. And in doing so, she finally felt peace. That's what it means to let go and live. Marcus Aurelius, the emperor who mastered his mind, he ruled a crumbling empire, wars, betrayals, pressure. Yet every day he wrote, he questioned his own thoughts, he watched them rise and fall, without obeying them. He understood what Buddhism later echoed, you are not your thoughts. His strength wasn't in conquering nations, it was in conquering his mind. That's a quiet kind of spiritual awakening. Princess Diana, the woman who stopped seeking applause. She was loved by the world, but often felt invisible to herself. For years she played the role, smiled when broken, performed when tired. But one day she stopped, she spoke truth, she chose authenticity over approval. She let go of the crown, not literally but emotionally. And that's when she found her own voice again. Ashoka, the emperor who embraced change. He was a fierce conqueror. Thousands died under his rule. But after one bloody battle he broke. He saw the suffering he caused, and he changed. He turned to Buddhism. He chose peace. He governed with compassion, not violence. He became one of the most beloved rulers in Indian history. His legacy? Transformation through impermanence. Thich Nhat Hanh, the monk who found peace in the present, born in war, exiled, misunderstood, yet never bitter. He walked slowly, he taught silence, he invited the world to come back to the present, not someday. Now, he reminded us that joy is not out there, it's right here, in each mindful breath. That's the path of let go and live. Nelson Mandela, the leader who chose compassion. He lost 27 years in prison, but he didn't lose himself. He emerged without vengeance. He embraced his enemies, he forgave, because control is not power, compassion is. His story is proof that the human spirit can rise without needing to dominate. Your story, still being written. And now, what about you? Which lesson spoke to your heart? Which story felt familiar? Where are you still holding on? What could your life feel like if you let go? You don't need to become famous. You don't need to become a monk. You just need to become more of who you already are. That's where your spiritual awakening begins. Next, we'll take a step inward, not into more stories, but into reflection. The personal insights from a Buddhist learner who's walked this path for decades. Up next, Part 4. Reflections from a lifetime Buddhist learner. Part 4. Reflections from a lifetime Buddhist learner. I wasn't born into Buddhism. I arrived slowly, not through temples or scriptures, but through suffering, through broken expectations, through loss, through moments when life didn't go the way I planned. Sound familiar? For years I tried to fix everything, tried to be strong, tried to stay in control, but all it brought me was exhaustion. Then one day I sat still, not to do something, but to do nothing. I closed my eyes and I breathed. That was the beginning, not of escape, but of awakening. Buddhism didn't give me all the answers. It gave me better questions. What if I don't need to change this moment? What if I just need to change how I meet it? What if pain isn't the enemy? What if resistance is? Over time, I learned something beautiful. Peace isn't something you chase, it's something you allow. It's what rises when you stop pushing. Letting go wasn't easy, it still isn't. But each time I practice, even just one breath at a time, I find myself again. Now, I'm over 60, and life feels softer. Not because it's easier, but because I've stopped wrestling with it. I don't need to be right, I don't need to be liked, I don't need to be perfect, I just need to be present. So here's what I want you to know. You don't need to change your whole life. You just need to change how you relate to it. You don't need to become someone else. You just need to remember who you are, beneath the noise, the roles, the fear. That remembering, that returning, that is spiritual awakening. And if you're reading this far, I know something about you. You're ready to let go and live, ready to begin again, right where you are. You've walked through every lesson, you've met powerful stories, you've touched quiet truths. Now it's time to bring it all together. Let's close this journey with heart. Up next, conclusion. What real freedom really feels like. Conclusion. What real freedom really feels like. You made it to the end. Take a deep breath. That alone is worth celebrating. You didn't just read words. You walked a journey. One breath, one insight, one letting go at a time. Let's pause and remember what you've learned. You learned to let go of what burns your hand, because pain is not always outside. Sometimes it lives in your grip. You stopped chasing approval and started listening to your own voice. How did that feel? You embraced change instead of fearing it. You opened your heart to impermanence, because nothing lasts, and that's what makes it precious. You slowed down in a noisy world. You remembered that stillness is your strength. That's where your spiritual awakening takes root. You questioned your thoughts and discovered you are not your mind. You are the sky, not the clouds. You stopped running after happiness and turned to where it's always been, right here. You released control and made room for compassion, for others and for yourself. What does let go and live truly mean now to you? What are you feeling right now that you weren't feeling before? What truth are you finally ready to accept? If even one sentence touched something in you, then this was worth it. Now comes the most important part, not what you learned, but what you do next. Start small. One breath of awareness, one quiet cup of tea, one kind thought toward yourself. You don't have to change everything, just begin from where you are. Let it be real, let it be enough. I want to thank you deeply for reading, for staying, for showing up for yourself. You've already taken a courageous step, and I'm honored to walk it with you. If you feel something shift, say it. If you're inspired to try something, do it. And if you'd like to share, tell me in the comments below, what was your favorite lesson? What are you letting go of today? Let this be a space where we grow together. Subscribe to Son.Mindfulness for more wisdom, more stillness, and more soul-deep connection. If you know someone who needs this, send it to them. You may change their day or their life. Until next time, stay strong, stay open, stay kind. May you always be healthy. May peace live in your heart. May happiness return with every breath. And may luck walk beside you every step. Thank you.